Okay, let's play Baccarat on Slotomania. How do we get to the Baccarat bonus? I mentioned this on my other video as well. During the base game, you collect chips to fill the meter above the reels and earn chips for the Baccarat bonus. You know these from the other games that we have, the other similar games. There's a meter which requires a minimum bet. Once you fill that, every time you fill it, you actually get a chip. The Baccarat bonus can only be played when either 8, 17, 27, 38, 50, 63, or 77 chips are collected. At those points, at 8, 77, sorry, 17, 27, 38, so on, you actually get a pop-up telling you whether you want to continue collecting chips or whether you want to play the Baccarat bonus. One thing you should take advantage of, something I haven't really taken advantage of just yet, is the extra free chips that you get at different points in the game. So at 16, 25, 35, 46, 58, and 71, you get extra free chips on the house, a total of 21 free chips, which is quite advantageous when you get to 77 and play all those chips out. Baccarat. Baccarat is a card game. Just like blackjack is, poker is, it's a card game. It sounds fancy, it's not. It's what it literally isn't. I mean, you will see it in James Bond movies, and different other movies actually have a baccarat scene, but it's nothing really complicated. The person who reaches closest to 9 is usually the winner on the table, depending on where you bet, not the person. The bet you place, all you need to do is get to a 9. Now, how are the card values calculated? 10, Jack, Queen, and King are worth 0 points. They have 0 value. The rest of the cards are worth their face value. An ace, again, at face value, it's worth 1 point. To calculate the total value of 2 cards, out how much each card is worth, and if greater than 9, you drop the first digit. So for example, a hand of an 8 and a 7, which is 15, has a final value of 5, so you just drop the first digit. Dealing cards. You don't do any of the dealing. The lovely lady in red, the dealer in the game, actually does all the dealing for you. She knows the rules really well. She follows that rule, and she will decide for you, according to the rules, when you will get a third card, because there are situations where you might get a third card. 2 cards are dealt face up to both the player and the banker. Those are basically the 2 people. But it's not people. Maybe I shouldn't use that term. These are spots on the table. And it's not you're the player and Lucy is the banker or the dealer is the banker. No. You can choose to play on the banker side. You can choose to play on the player side. You choose where you want to place your bet. Whichever hand totals closest to 9 wins. That's it. If the first 2 hands dealt totals to 8 or 9 for either the player or the banker, then it's called a natural, and the round is over. If the player's hand totals to 5 or less, then the player will receive a third card, and if the player has only 2 cards, then the banker follows the player's rule above for a third card. So she will tell you, she decides according to the rules when the third card is drawn. For example, banker's first 2 cards total value 2 or less. Then you draw. 3, you draw, unless the player's third card was an 8. So there are specific rules to when the third card will be dealt. If you want to have these rules when you're doing the bonus, sure, have them, up to you. I really wouldn't bother because she does all the work and it's pretty easy to follow. She's just counting for you. And you get the total amounts there in the box. I'll show you when I play Baccarat. So the bets can be placed on player's hand, banker's hand, tie, player's pair, or banker's pair. There are a total of 5 spots on the table, and you could pick any of the 5 spots, or all 5 spots, or 2 spots, or 3 spots, or 4 spots. You choose where you want to place your bets. A player pair is 1 if the first 2 cards of the player is a pair, for example, a 10 and a 10, or a king and a king, and the same with a banker. Banker pair is 1 if the first 2 cards of the banker is a pair, for example, a 9 and a 9, or a queen and a queen, or a 10 and a 10, or a king and a king. Doesn't matter as long as it's the same two. When tie is won, this is quite an advantage if you want. If you've placed 3 spots, so you could place, let's say, banker, player, tie, and the tie is won, you actually get to keep those 2 chips on the table. So the player's hand or the banker's hand will stay on the table. So that's a good one there. And these are the payouts. So if you've chosen the player's spot, you are paid 1-to-1. A banker will pay 20 to 19. In an actual casino, let's say you were playing on a $10 table, you would have to give 50 cents, or they would keep 50 cents in lieu of payment at the end or something. Tie wins, these are the higher payouts. Tie is 1-to-8, and player pair, banker pair is 1-to-11. It's a higher risk, but it's also a higher payout. After placing your bets, you press deal to deal the cards. All winning bets are paid out for each round, and you continue playing the Baccarat bonus until all chips are used. And I am going to play some Baccarat. Now, I am going to make some suggestion. It doesn't mean that you have to follow my suggestions. These are just what I've noticed as a player to be the most beneficial for me. And quite simply, the most beneficial for me is player, banker, because I know I'm going to walk away as a winner. No matter what, there will be a win involved. She decides to draw the third card for banker as well. 5, winner is banker. So no matter what, I'm a winner with this. This combination makes me a winner. If I want to aim for a higher risk, I could go for the 3 bets. So that's the player, the tie, and the banker. And that's just in case I get that payout 1-to-8. All I have to do as a player is decide where I want to bet. So player has 3 plus 8. A third card was drawn. 0. Actually, did you notice that the player won with a 1? There is always a winning outcome in this game. And then my final choice is all 5 spots. I could go for all 5 spots. And again, I know one of them is going to win. For sure, one of them is going to win, and that's the player or the banker. What I'm looking for now is a possibility of a higher payout. I really not sure you want to do that. Me, like I said, player, banker. That would be my combination, and you're going to step away with a good payout. You're going to step away knowing that you have won the bonus round. That's just me. That's just me. So all you need to do is pick your spots. You want to be risky and go for all 5? Go for it. Each person is different. Each person plays games differently. But I'm suggesting, as another player to players, possibly your best option, your best option would be player banker. That's it. That possibly, and maybe once in a while, a tie to get a slightly better payout. Maybe. At actual casinos, so I'm just going to add this in. They actually believe in winning streaks as well. So they think that sometimes the player always wins or the banker always wins, depending on the spot. I don't know. I'm not a big baccarat player at casinos, but I have enjoyed playing it here, and I do hope you also enjoy it as much as I did. I did well, and I did well by just playing player banker. Have fun.